Today, today is 9/11, and I'm from New York, and I wrote a little thing about this last week, but I I'll never forget that day. That day is burned in my memory. I had already moved out of New York when that happened, and my husband's boss, who's from New York, ran and said, a plane crashed in New York. And I remember him running inside and telling me that there was a plane crash in the Twin Towers. And I remember we don't have cable. The only way you can really see TV here is cable. With rabbit ears, you might get one or two channels. So we went to, I think, the only channel we could get. And it was in my daughter's room, I remember. The only TV that would work. It was an old TV with rabbit ears. We were able to get the news, and I remember watching the second plane crash, and I knew there was no accident. And I just remember the panic. I remember calling my family, making sure everyone was okay, and I remember the lines being busy, and I was just a mess that whole day. There was no homeschooling that day. I just remember that until I heard from my family, that life stopped right there. And I remember emailing who I could, and I remember until I found out that everyone was okay, and using my cell, using my regular phone, using my email, until even like cousins I hadn't heard from in a long time, until I knew that everyone was okay in my family, life just could not move on from that moment. So, yeah, just wanted to add that little tidbit. And I remember gaining a new respect. Being from New York, sometimes the cops there can be corrupt. Unfortunately, sometimes cops become cops because they enjoy the power. You know, there were problems with the cops, and it's really sad that even here, living in North Carolina, it's sad that you have to fear the cops just as much as you have to fear the bad guy, maybe even more so, because they're out there all the time. It's sad that instead of feeling protected, you feel attacked, and I've got my own stories to tell about incidences with cops being from New York, including almost being raped. So 9/11 gave me a new respect for cops. There are good cops, just like there are bad cops. If you don't believe me about bad cops, watch Serpico, true story. Just like there are good and bad in everything, good and bad in everything. And I just always try to remember that cops, firemen, everyone who gave their lives that day because they knew it was the job that they chose, it was what they were called to do. I didn't take pictures, so I don't want to cry. And they bravely went in there to do their job. And just the memory of that day, of the aftermath, of the news going on, I don't know for how long, will always be ingrained in my head. So just want to take that moment out to just mention it. Today's 9/11. And, I'm not trying to spread hate. It's just a very solemn, melancholy thing to remember, and I always feel this way, or not always, So sometimes I just get like that on 9/11, and today's 9/11. So thought I might mention that, and again, let's try to appreciate the people in uniform, who do give their lives, who do good, That just gave me a new respect that day. So, okay.